Henry Louis Holbert, a name I had never heard of and a name most Americans might never remember. But to many in the United States military, to the state of Maryland, and to his family, he will never be forgotten. Henry Louis Holbert, a Maryland citizen, displayed extraordinary heroism during attacks on enemy lines in World War I. Amongst his many acts of bravery, he single-handedly held off attackers while at the same time protected 2 mortally wounded officers. As the recipient of several Purple Hearts, he was awarded the Medal of Honor for service as Private United States Marine Corps. After his death on October 4th, 1918, he and 48 other heroic soldiers were commemorated through what is now known as the Maryland Peace Cross, a 40-foot-tall cross-shaped memorial. At the base of the monument are these words: valor, endurance, courage, and devotion. For 93 years, this memorial has stood tall, honoring our fallen heroes. In recent events, however, it is in danger of destruction, simply because some government officials disagree with the memorial's cross shape. We can learn 2 invaluable lessons from Private Henry Louis Holbert and from the Maryland Peace Cross Memorial. 2 lessons which taught me why my vote matters. The first lesson the Maryland Peace Cross controversy brings to light is that my vote matters because it impacts my future. My vote affects who makes decisions in the judicial process, which can then set examples for states to follow and create precedent for federal legislation. The American democracy established and intended by our founding fathers is a system in which our 3 branches of government all impact one another. If a simple vote can alter the fate of present, past, and future veteran memorials, then a simple vote can certainly set precedent for healthcare, taxation, and even immigration. My simple vote is my voice. As former President Franklin D. Roosevelt aptly put, the ultimate rulers of our democracy are not a president and senators and congressmen and government officials, but the voters of this country. Voting shouldn't be about the red versus the blue, but instead about the red, white, and blue. My vote is my tool of political empowerment to bring about change in this great nation. In today's era of political gridlock and partisanship, it is too easy to fall into a mindset of apathy and hopelessness. Reflection on the story of Henry Louis Holbert and the Maryland Peace Cross taught me that my vote matters not only for the future, but also because it respects the past. The purpose of voting extends far beyond participating in the present-day democracy. More than 100,000 soldiers gave their lives in World War I alone to protect our country, to defend our Constitution, and more specifically, to uphold our right to vote. What does it say to our fallen heroes who died protecting our right to participate when we simply refuse to vote? In the same way that tearing down the Maryland Peace Cross Memorial unjustly insults those 49 veterans inscribed in its stone and in the fabric of America's history, refusing to vote unjustly insults the many more men and women who continue to pay the ultimate price to uphold our freedoms. As we commemorate the 100th anniversary of the end of World War I, we must remember that these feelings are not unique to our time. This sense of hopelessness and uncertainty of today's voter mirrors the feelings Henry Louis Holbert and others alike no doubt felt on gruesome battlefields. Yet still, they endured and displayed extraordinary acts of valor with great courage and devotion. I believe that my generation has the power to turn the tide of the wave of apathy, to build up our nation rather than to dwell on this uncertainty. Together, we must emulate the valor of our past by fighting today's battles. Together, we must show the courage to reach out to our fellow Americans, to unite in our commitment to our country. And above all, together we must stay devoted to the principles our founding fathers intended. We must remain a country of the people, by the people, for the people. My vote matters because it impacts my future and it respects the past. My vote matters for the living, and my vote matters for the dead.